When Eleanor Royce passed away, the world barely noticed. She was remembered as a quiet, eccentric woman with a fondness for gardening, long walks, and crossword puzzles. Her granddaughter, 25-year-old Ivy Royce, mourned her quietly, having spent her childhood summers in Eleanor's ivy-draped cottage in the countryside. Ivy had always sensed her grandmother was different, brilliant, and mysterious, but she never imagined just how deep the truth ran. It started with the will. Among Eleanor's belongings, Ivy found an old wooden box sealed with a complex brass lock. Attached was a small envelope containing a handwritten note in Eleanor's looping cursive. "My darling Ivy, if you're reading this, I'm no longer with you. Inside this box begins a journey I've kept from the world and from you for too long. Trust your mind, follow your instincts, and remember, not all treasures are made of gold. With all my love, Nana." Puzzled and intrigued, Ivy took the box home. For days she examined it, searching for a way in. It wasn't until she remembered Eleanor teaching her about Fibonacci sequences during a thunderstorm when she was 8 that she tried the sequence on the combination lock. 1 minus 1 minus 2 minus 3 minus 5 minus 8. With a click, it opened. Inside was a faded photograph of Eleanor as a young woman in a sleek black dress, standing beside a painting that had been stolen decades ago, The Midnight Duchess. The heights had remained unsolved. There was also a notebook. The first page read, "The stories they told you were bedtime tales. The truth is more thrilling. I was not just your grandmother. I was known in some circles as the Moth." Ivy's breath caught. The Moth, a name she had heard whispered in documentaries and folklore, was a legend. An elusive thief who vanished like fog, stealing not for greed, but to expose injustice. And now, Ivy was holding her grandmother's confession. The notebook was more than a diary. It was a guide. Eleanor had laid out a series of riddles, maps, and coordinates. Each led to another. The first clue read, "Where roses bloom in winter's frost, a hollow hides what once was lost. Look beneath the silent tree, where secrets sleep and roots run free." Ivy returned to the cottage, dug beneath an old magnolia tree, and unearthed a tin box. Inside, a velvet pouch with a key, a silver moth pendant, and a map of Europe marked with symbols. Her first stop, Paris. She honored Eleanor's old neighborhood and uncovered a hidden panel in a museum bathroom containing an envelope with the next clue. Then Vienna, where a retired locksmith named Otto shared stories of Eleanor breaking into the Hungarian consulate with only mirrors and a rope. She wasn't after riches, Otto said. She wanted what they'd stolen back. She gave more away than she kept. Istanbul followed, where an elderly woman named Layla revealed an abandoned mansion filled with crates, each tagged, cataloged, and packed with artifacts. She returned them, one by one, Layla said, but not all could be traced. She was burdened by justice. The trail led Ivy to Zurich. There she encountered danger. A man who claimed to be from a historical foundation tried to take her journal. She escaped through an alley, heart pounding. It was the first time she realized others were watching. The final clue brought Ivy to a monastery in the Swiss Alps. Beneath its chapel was a crypt where the walls echoed with silence. Hidden behind a false wall was the truth. An archive of stolen treasures, not for profit, but for preservation. Ancient manuscripts, missing paintings, rare gems. Each bore a note in Eleanor's hand, detailing how it was acquired and who it belonged to. Among them, a final letter addressed to Ivy. "If you've come this far, you've proven yourself. This legacy is yours, not for theft, but for truth. You decide, return, reveal, or protect. But do not forget who you are." Eleanor the Moth Royce. Tears filled Ivy's eyes. She finally understood. Eleanor had been more than a thief. She was a silent protector of the past. Over the next year, Ivy worked in secret. She returned relics, rose expos us, and published a fictionalized book, Legacy of the Moth, a bestseller that stirred museums and collectors worldwide. Ivy, once an ordinary clerk, became a voice for historical justice. The silver moth pendants never left her neck. On a warm spring night, she sat in Eleanor's old garden and opened the notebook one last time. Under the moonlight, a hidden ink glowed. "This is only the beginning," and Ivy smiled, because deep down, she knew the Moth's legacy wasn't over. It had just found new wings. Love mysterious legacies, thrilling puzzles, and bold heroines. Don't miss what's coming next. Subscribe to New A Story now for more stories where secrets are treasures and every episode uncovers a new truth from the shadows. Your next mystery is just one click away.